time for Live Now with Dr. Carmen Harra. The show offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions. And now, here's Dr. Carmen Harra.
Hello, everybody. So excited to be with you Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time here in Florida and the New York area and the East Coast. So we're so happy to be together today. And I'm going to choose, actually I chose a topic that I'm super excited to speak to you about, which I called Tools to Manage Everyday Anxiety. Now, in my career as a therapist, as a psychologist, people come to me asking me what to do with their anxiety that goes to the roof and they don't know how to control it. And I have, of course, a lot of things that I recommend that go to the root of the problem. Where is the anxiety coming from? But during the show, we're going to talk a lot about one component that is very important to be taken into consideration, and that is called stress. And I will tell you that our modern world makes it absolutely impossible for us not to feel worried, not to feel stressed, not to feel anxious. With everything that's happening in the world, with the war, with the danger of this war expanding all over the globe, with the pandemic, after 2 years of pandemic, not even knowing exactly if we're out of the pandemic or if we're not, if this can come back in a different form, we seem to be unable to break out of cycles of negativity. And we seem to feel like we're not making progress towards our goal, towards peace, towards balance, towards stability. Because what we feel determines what we feel. So think for a little bit. So what you feel inside you determines your general state of the mind, your general state of well-being, your overall health. So how significant it is to be able to mitigate emotion and put our mind at ease in order to be healthy and to be successful and to be celebrating life. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, if you've been feeling confused, if you've been feeling like I can't handle this anymore, you just tune into something that I want to call an hour of tranquility, an hour in which you can breathe, in which you can vision things turning around, in which you can make a phone call and talk to me about your problems. And anytime you talk, you actually release part of your worries, and a conversation will make you feel better. I think that's the whole philosophy behind cognitive therapy. The fact that people feel so much better anytime they go and see a counselor, they go to get some psychological help. So that's why if you feel sick, if you feel stagnant, if you feel you can't take the way the world is expressing itself right now, the number to call in is 951-922-3532, 951-922-3532. And my wonderful producer will take your calls and will connect you with me, and we will be able to have a conversation about you, because this is intended to be a calling show. I always take a topic and I want you to react to it. I want you to think about in which way this topic, like the topic for today, which is tools to manage everyday anxiety, is resonating with you. And I'm 100% sure that this really resonates with you guys. So if you said, well, I'm trying to get back to normal after 2 years of pandemic, but the process is difficult and it's way more difficult than I thought. I turn into the news and what can I see? I see war, and it makes me sick to my stomach. So for those who already suffer from anxiety, people who have all these disturbances and mental disorder, and the chemistry of the brain is off, they need, you know what I mean, to understand that this state of affairs in the world makes their life way worse, makes them feel way worse. So we all question what tomorrow will bring. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. And that's a scary thought, But the correlation between heavy feelings, anger, resentment, bitterness, and diseases like autoimmune, cancer, diabetes, they are so rooted into the way we perceive reality. They're so rooted into emotional system. They have a lot to do with the way we feel internally. Our feelings are actually, to tell you the truth, the building blocks of our health. And many disorders are triggered by toxic emotions that are trapped within ourselves. And I did many shows in the past in which I tried to explain you don't get stuck in your emotion. Emotions should be visitors. You embrace them, you release them. But many of us, we don't know how to do that. So we got stuck in our feelings. And consequently, we develop all kinds of problems. We just wake up with an autoimmune. We wake up with a severe form of anxiety, with very bad panic disorder that are so real and so debilitating. So learning to accept, learning to control emotion will grant us sooner or later peace. As we know, we have to accept that. We have to surrender. It's interesting to surrender to the present and use the resources in front of us. But most of us feel fear. Most of us, we don't know how to shift emotion. Most of us don't know how to shift consciousness. So in moments of worry, the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible offers us the words of wisdom. There is a time to scatter stone and a time to gather them. Now is the time to gather our stones, to slow down and take care of ourselves and others. We will have plenty of time to scatter stones again later on. But if you want to listen to a meditation, I just want you to, on this topic, that will make you calm down. They will make you feel so relaxed, almost like you are deleting all those bad feelings, emotions, and memories. Go to Carmen Harra on YouTube and go on Carmen Harra guided medication. It will be the first one that comes on the top. Carmen Harra guided meditation. If you feel like the anxiety is so severe, meditation helps, especially if it's a guided meditation. It helps you follow the steps of the meditation, and immediately you see a shift. A shift is slowing down, the stress hormones, slowing down the anxiety and making you feel much better. But let's go to the danger of stress. I want you guys to really acknowledge what stress can do and what are the dangers when it comes to stress. Because there are real dangers to stress, dangers to our well-being, dangers to our health, dangers that we cannot deny. So what stress does, stress lowers your immune system. That's the first thing that stress will do. The immune system ability, because the immune system is your army, trying to keep your body healthy. And immediately, when there's stress, then this immune ability to fight the antigens and fight anything else, that gets into your system is reduced, substantially reduced. So consequently, you're susceptible to infection. You're susceptible to all kinds of viruses, to all kinds of things that can get into your system. Because what happens is that if the immune system doesn't work properly, it means that the immune system doesn't have the level of lymphocyte at the proper level, and that's when the problem starts. Now, the danger of stress is also having to do with sympathetic system. So stress can damage your sympathetic system. The nervous system acts on sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Now, when the body is very stressed, our nervous system contributes to what is known as fight or flight mechanism, fight or flight response. What does it mean? Is the body shifts its energy, the resources of the energy, towards fighting off a threat. So when you feel that there is a threat, then you start to fight. It's a mechanism inside your nervous system. And consequently, what happens is the brain releases certain hormones that are also called certain neurotransmitters or catecholamines, and they release in the bloodstream. Epinephrine, norepinephrine, they release in the bloodstream. When they are released in a big quantities, your blood pressure goes extremely high, uncontrolled. Your pulse is double, and you have a serious panic attack in that moment. You have a feeling that you cannot breathe. You have a feeling, and if any of you listen to me and you've ever experienced something like this, let's talk about it, because I do have an amazing solution and even natural things to recommend to you guys so that you can get the help that you need. Let's say when you're in a rush, you feel your heart that beats harder and you breathe faster. This can be okay, as I said, for a short period of time, but we need to control this mechanism of the brain and stop this panic attacks. A lot of people suffer from them regularly. A lot of people may have just a panic attack once in a blue moon, so they become chronic or they just isolate it. Something that also I want you to know is that stress can harm your digestive system. It's very important to know. Short-term stress can make you lose your appetite. But long-term stress can trigger gastrointestinal issues, diarrhea, indigestion, stomach pain, and can create celiac disease, autoimmune disorders of the gastrointestinal system. So it's very important to acknowledge that stress is your worst enemy when it comes to your digestion. It also can make you do things that you don't want to do. Stress impairs your rationale. It impairs your thinking. In moments when you want to be calm and relax, all of a sudden you do something that is out of control because you are overwhelmed. And being overwhelmed, it makes you take action that are wrong. You can lash out to others. You can, snap out and say something terrible to your significant other, to your family, to your children. And then already, doing this, you cause an irreparable harm. Very hard to take those words back after you use them. So you don't want to harm your relationship. You don't want to cause so much trouble with the people in your life just because you are very stressed. So, and I'm going to give you 2 or 3 indications in which stress is addictive, is negative and causing you harm. And then I'm going to take a short break. But remember, stress is addictive. It is addictive, no doubt about it. Like anything else in life, that you can be addicted to, you can be addicted to stress. Also, stress releases something that is called dopamine. It's a hormone in the brain. But the dopamine encourages repetitive behavior because it activates the reward center in the brain. There is a reward center in the brain, and consequently, it makes you do the things that you don't want to do. Almost like you have an urge, a need of reacting in a bad way. And you see people constantly repeating that behavior that is wrong, and they acknowledge it's wrong, but they are doing it. Why? Because the stress level is where the problem is, and dopamine makes them constantly repeat that behavior that is wrong. And they have a very hard time to correct that. Something that becomes a pattern of a behavior, it's very hard to be corrected. It takes a while to be corrected. Now, stress can make you feel compulsive, impulsive, and engage in all kinds of harmful behavior. Like, for instance, eating compulsively. You end up by eating and you don't know why you put 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds on you. It's all because of stress. So cortisol increases hunger because the body craves energy. to fight whatever stressor exists there. So that's why, unfortunately, you start eating compulsively. Actually is because you feel extremely stressed. Sometimes you're not even aware of it. By being overwhelmed by stress, also you can disrupt your normal eating habits. This might also provide a distraction, eating compulsively. It takes you to the comfort zone. So studies have shown that stress levels do not decrease after overeating or binging on junk food. And actually, at the end of the day, they cause more stress. Like, okay, you have an amazing cookies or something that is sweet, super sweet, and you feel good because your serotonin jumps to the roof, but then it drops way worse than before. So when you stress, you're caught in the moment and don't think about the repercussion of that harmful behavior that you have on yourself and sometimes on others. So, and guess what? And then I'm going to go and take a call. Stress can actually age you. Now, the cortisol, which is the stress hormone, what it does, it breaks down the skin elastin and collagen. So under a period of a lot of stress, you look in a mirror and you feel wrinkles everywhere. Why? Because cortisol breaks, the elastin and the collagen, so then you wrinkle very easily. So also, it hurts your sleep. Stress causes inflammation in the body, and all of a sudden you can move your knee, you have pain in the shoulder, in your hands, and is the root of many like autoimmune disorder. We have like 100 autoimmune disorder at this point, and the numbers continues to grow. And guess what? We have no cure. And all we need to do when we have an autoimmune is take prednisone, cortisone, because that lowers the level of the inflammation. But let's stop the stress so we don't cause an inflammatory process in the body. Stress, if you're pregnant, harms your baby. Don't forget that. So if you're pregnant, you need to be relaxed. Actually, women don't get pregnant if they are stressed. One of the conditions for you to get pregnant is don't be stressed. Relax in order for you to be able to become a mom. So very important. You need to know all these things. I'm going to go to my caller right now. Is it Ruth? Oh, Julia.
Carmen?
Hi, Julia.
Yeah. Hi, Carmen. How are you doing?
I'm okay, beautiful girl. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay too. I don't know how you do this magic, but every week the topics that you have are matching my issues. So it's just incredible.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's magic. I'm so glad.
Yeah, so in fact, I felt like in the last 2 weeks, I have experienced at work the stress that I never experienced before. So I could notice that because I wake up late till very late, and I couldn't concentrate on what I eat when I was eating. And I was listening to what you were saying. In fact, many people, when they look at me, they think that I'm younger than I am. But on my face, there are a lot of wrinkles. I never thought that the wrinkles that I have and the level of collagen can drop down because of the level the stress is very high in my body.
So the hormone, the stress hormone is called cortisol. In order to determine the stress hormone, you go to an endocrinologist and you make a test. It's a special test. And if your stress hormone is very high, that explains your aging process. So for everybody listening, and for you especially because you call, make sure you measure the level of your cortisol, and that gives you an explanation of where you are and the way you release. If you listen to the rest of the show, I'm going to come up with different strategies to release, to slow down the aging process and release the good hormones, so that you immediately shift, from the level of the anxiety into a level of being calm and relaxed and in control. So listen to the rest of the show and you'll find some interesting tips. But how are you doing otherwise? So this is already something that I want you to do. So you have a homework. Go see an endocrinologist and ask him for the cortisol test, so that you find out what's going on. And if you go then see an endocrinologist, ask him to measure to see what's going on with your thyroid, your adrenaline glands, your pineal gland that governs actually the thyroid, and check on everything else, the level of the D3, the level of B12 and magnesium, the minerals in the system, if you go there, because then you can take opportunity to check on everything. But it's important to understand where the aging process is coming from. And you see people that are looking phenomenal at an age that is considered old, at 60, 70, even 80, women that don't have wrinkles. They look phenomenal. And we always think the explanation is Botox. No, it has a lot to do with the level of elastin. It has a lot to do with the level of collagen. So it's not pumping that skin and trying to every 3 months, 6 months, going and injecting everything in the face. And to me, that's not the key to anything. The key is how we're going to boost the level of the collagen. And one of the ingredients is eliminating and dropping down the cortisol level.
Yeah, I see. I'll just visit a doctor and see how this level is. Although I don't trust the doctor. I go to the doctor just to check the level, but then I don't do what they tell me.
It's a test.
Yeah.
And the test is point blank. It's tell you the level is here or the level is here.
Yeah.
Then you have your answer.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need his expertise because you already know why you request a test like this.
Yes, correct. That's true. Lovely. So I'm going to listen to the rest of the show to find out more. Thank you.
I love you, Julia. I'm going to take a short break and I'll be back with you in a minute. And I'm back. So excited to be with you today because I love this topic. I know so many of you suffer from anxiety right now. It's normal. It's normal. It's understandable. The question is, how can we overcome anxiety? What's the root of anxiety? And I try to explain you where is anxiety coming from. And one of the elements that has a lot to do with anxiety is the stressful situations the world goes through right now. So even the healthiest people, feel stress right now because it's the uncertainty, the I know, the fear war, the problem with the virus, the pandemic. So all of this affected every one of us at different levels. Some people can handle it better. Some people got seriously sick. But that's why this topic is so significant. I'll give you 9 ways to boost stress and boost serenity. So it's almost like you switch something in the brain. You switch a negative emotion into a positive. So you switch from being overly stressed into feeling tranquility, feeling at peace, feeling acceptance, feeling like you handle everything very well. So I'll go through those 9 ways, 9 steps in a second. But I want to just tell you that I'm so excited. I want to share this with you. I finished my new book. It's almost ready. I'm going to release this to the publish house in a matter of weeks. Super excited. It's my 10th book. And it's going to come in print relatively quickly, probably towards the end of the year. And I work with a wonderful publish house. So I'll tell you more after I release the manuscript, but I'm excited. I'm almost there. I've been working very hard to finish this new book. And as you know, my last book was all about human archetypes. So Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes. It's a relationship book. And John Gray, the New York Times bestselling author, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, said that Committed is a practical manual for anybody seeking to build or maintain a stable relationship. It offers grounded, realistic advice to readers to strengthen their bond with their significant other and get loyalty from the one they love. So that's what John Gray said about this book. So I'm very excited that he gave me an endorsement, and the book is out for a number of months already. But I move into my next project. Now, my other book is also on relationship that explains types of relationships and talks in great length about how to connect, how to communicate, is called The Karma Queen's Guide to Relationship, The Truth About Karma in Relationships. So this is a book that talks about balancing intimacy and separation within a relationship, to love or not to love. So it's an interesting book that talks about the universal laws of love and the number one law of the universe, karma, that interferes in relationship. And the reason I involve karma in relationship, because my first book, exactly 20 years ago, I'm celebrating now the release of my first book 20 years ago. That was actually in New York Times and was published in 23 languages, translated in 23 languages, went all over the globe. Was actually endorsed by Deepak Chopra, that says that Everyday Karma is a manual for personal growth and transformation, easy to follow, dramatically change your life for better. So that's Everyday Karma, my first book, that I will have a celebration of 20 years since this book was released. And I publish other books. I want to show them to Decoding Your Destiny, Holiness. I don't have all of them here with me. Trinity of Hell, the 11th Principle. And yes, so I'm excited to have an opportunity to continue to work with you on a new topic on my new book that continues a little bit on the ideas that I've been so far presenting to you. But coming back to stress and coming back to something that you guys need to know, there are 9, I should call them exercises, to wear off stress and welcome calmness, serenity, tranquility in your mind, in your heart. And the number one, the one that you actually know, I'm just going to talk about this a little bit, is called exercise. And you heard about exercise. Exercise has a positive impact on every being because it increases circulation, it strengthens your immune system, reduces the risk of major diseases like cancer, heart disease. It produces the feel-good neurotransmitters that are called endorphins. So it releases endorphins. Now, it's very important for us to know that exercise should be done regularly. And when you exercise, this diverts your attention from your issues that are stressing you. So moving your body, walk, engage in a game, swimming, yoga, whatever you try, you will help you be stress-free. So it's important for you guys to exercise. And let me know if you exercise. Call me and let me know how much you exercise, what is the type of the exercise that you do. But if you don't want to necessarily go to gym, then you know what? Walk around your area, walk around your house for 20, 30 minutes if you can. If you want to talk to me about what are you doing to release stress, call me, 951-922-3532. Also very important for you is to practice detachment. Many times when we are attached to the wrong situation, to the wrong people, we continue to overwhelm and to become more and more stressed. But the wisdom of detaching teaches us to forgive those who have hurt us and even forgive ourselves. Only in this way we can truly detach from the pain and the pressure and letting go of all those situations that are blocking us. And one of the key to detachment is let negative emotion go out. Go out. I talked to you about so many times. You want to become unblocked, unburdened, then detach by forgiving. Forgiving is a way to heal. I think it's the most beautiful way to heal, the most powerful way to heal. In time, you will see that you will be able to overcome anything if you just forgive people, forgiving yourself, and detaching from situations and circumstances that no longer serve you. Another element of the 9 that I try to talk about, that's a very simple thing. You probably heard some of them before. But one important is music. That's why we're so drawn to music, because retreat to a place of solitude when you can play your song, or you can listen to those classical music that is so, the interval, the sound is like designed to operate on the chemistry of the brain is fascinating. That's why we used to say that somewhere in heaven, there's music. There has to be. So play a song that is slow, that is soothing, a sound that you used to always love and you'll always love. So don't do anything, just listen, absorb the melody, and absorb the words. Breathe in sync with the song, following the lows and the highs in the rhythm, and create a playlist just for the time of solitude so that you recharge. You actually recharge. The reason you recharge because cortisol affects your energy overall when it's very high. If you slow it down, you recharge, the energy goes up again. Now we are energy that converts constantly into something physical. So that's why, because we are forms of energy, the energy should be at a high frequency. Now, if you feel like you've tried all of this and there's something you haven't tried, I'm going to repeat something that probably you heard again, and that's number 4 on the list. That is called calming affirmation. Why affirmation? Because they are part of the spoken word used to your advantage. If you say things like, I am powerful, then you become, because the pattern of speech forms a system of speech and a system of belief. When you reassure yourself through positive words, you begin to believe what you affirm. And I'm going to give you some great affirmation to practice for you when you need to unwind, to do those. And you can change the words around if you think that you have different, better words to use. So say things like, serenity surges through my mind, body, and soul. I am in control. I am calm. I am still. I conquer my burdens effortlessly. I'm a master of my challenges. I master my challenges. I triumph over stress and I celebrate harmony. Put that in motion for a second. That you overcome stress and you are mastering serenity. As I breathe in, my spirit swells into tranquility. So these things, do them constantly, repeating, create a pattern of behavior, will not allow a stress level to go that high anymore. Another good thing is memories. Memories are a great way to escape a situation and travel to a happier place. Go back in time when you were happy. Go back to the moment you have your first child. Go back to a moment you got married. Go back to a moment and you got the best job. Go back to the moment when you had the most amazing trip ever. Those pleasant memories, they ease the tension. Anytime in the present you feel overwhelmed and stressed, take a deep breath and go back to the memory. And this is the way you're going to slow down the effect of negativity in the present moment. And another one, and this is number 6, is physical contact. A simple touch can make you calm. I don't know if you knew, but there are statistics showing that a dying person will live longer if he's surrounded by the people touching him, his hands, and kissing and hugging him. So it's very important to feel the warmth energy, and it melts away your anxiety. So if you are with somebody you really love, like that simple touch, that simple hug, a kiss, you even cuddling with your pet, believe it or not, it is making you feel that the tension is going away and making you feel immediately better. Another one, and that's number 7, is mindful writing. Take a pen and take a deep breath. And chances are your concerns are on the tip of your brain. Now, let's travel to the tips of your fingers. Start to write about your day, your dilemma, something that is upsetting you. Don't type your frustration. Write your frustration down. Physically writing things down releases the stress hormone. Put your emotion and even if you struggle in your words, let your writing become an outlet of releasing stress. This is This is the tool that is used in psychology. The writing of your feelings, of your emotion, and in order to release the tension and to release the negativity and to release the negative emotion, consequently releasing stress. And I'm going to give you too much more, and then I'm going to go to Kim. I'll take a short break, and then I'll go to Kim. Another one is called Develop a New Routine. That's number 8. Sometimes, you reduce stress by doing a little bit of thinking, and you can rearrange, things into your life and see what exactly is not working. And as a rule of thumb, the simpler the things are in your life, the better. Give yourself a break and reduce the number of activities. If you see that you have extra time, you can add even more tasks. Prioritize your activities. Do that for your own sake because it's important to do what's most relevant. Be organized. Eating healthy. Exercising, as I said, should be on the top of the list. But eating healthy is also very important. So things usually take longer to plan, but give yourself some room, for doing everything. So practice the principle of quality over quantity. And you don't have to get everything done in one day, but you should do things the right way. And the last one is do your favorite hobbies. I, for instance, like to sing. But some of you like to paint. I probably like to dance or like to do different activities that are your favorite hobbies and engage in those activities as much as you can. Practice a game, create something, cooking, and again, dancing, whatever makes you happy. And even sing, even if you don't have a voice, you don't have to have a voice. You're singing because the sound therapy is so good. In Ayurveda, the science of life, the sound therapy will actually help you release the negativity, release the stress hormone. Stress is an inevitable part of our life. But you can take the simple step, very simple, you heard about them, and practice these relaxing exercises in order to take control and take comfort in serenity. The reality is that you want to reach that point of tranquility in which nothing bothers you. A bomb can drop and you don't feel anything, no worries, no fear, because you're in control. And you're gonna ask me, really, how can I feel safe if a bomb will drop? But you will. You will, because you reach that level in which the stress can be controlled. And you will find solution. Even if something bad happens, there's always a way out. So I'm going to take a very short break, and then I'm going to go to Kim, because I'd love to talk to Kim about her. And Kim, wait for me 1 second. I'll be with you.
What is commitment, and why is it so hard to achieve? The new book, Committed, by Dr. Carmen Harra and Alexandra Harra, will make you reevaluate the way you think about love. Committed is a relationship manual that unfolds in 2 parts: the work you need to perform on the inside and the 7 distinct archetypes you will encounter on the outside. Committed, a new book available on Amazon by Dr. Carmen Harra and Alexandra Harra, will help to find and keep the love you deserve. Committed, available now on Amazon.
And I'm back with you today, guys. So excited about it. Talking about the topic today, talking about tools to manage everyday stress and anxiety. But I love to talk to Kim. And I know Kim, I think she's been going through a lot of stress. How are you, Kim, my dear? How's everything with you, my love?
I'm good. How are you?
Excited to talk to you. And tell me, how can I help today? Kim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Good. You?
I'm good. Thank you. Happy Friday. It's good it's Friday.
Thank you. So how can I help?
Question is, I was dating, well, I met this guy about 2 weeks ago, but remember,
right.
He's still married. They're not divorced. I've known him forever, but things have slowed down on his part with like a lot of like communicating and stuff. And I'm not saying I'm giving up because he was a friend before all this,
but I'm just trying to protect myself. I just don't, something doesn't feel right.
Do you know what that is? That doesn't feel right. What is the kind of a feeling you have that is not right?
Well, he's very distant. There's not a lot of like talking, communicating. I didn't see him this last week. He went away today for a week, so that would be 2 weeks when he gets back. I don't know. I just feel like I'm in the middle of. I feel like he maybe hasn't made his mind up or something. Maybe I'm wrong.
But so you know him for a very short time. Were you able to establish any form of communication with him, like quality conversation, and find out much more about his intention? What is he up to?
Well, I've known him for 20 years, but he was married and I was married, and then we ran into each other. And then he's going through like he's separated right now, but from what I understand, she goes back and forth to the house, and he was very open and honest with me. And I was just like, well, if there's thoughts of you getting, back together with your wife, I need to know your intentions here. And I don't think he even knows his intentions. I just don't. Where do you see this going?
I feel because of everything that's happening in both of your lives, I feel there's a lot. The level of the stress in his case and your case is very high. So you need to calm down, and you need to relax, and you need to give time. I think you should not interpret every gesture that he does. You should not project negativity. You should not be afraid that, hey, he's not going to be with me, or don't do that to yourself. That's my advice.
Okay. I'm giving him his space. I feel kind of awkward being in this position as he's pulled away a little bit more than the first week. But, do you see him leaving his wife? Do you see him, or?
That we need to introspect more. He's married for a long time now.
Yes, 25 years, no children.
Right. Did he mention his intention to leave his wife, or not really?
He said she chose to move out. And I had asked him, he said, we were roommates before she moved out, but we still are roommates. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, sometimes she'll come home after work. And, that to me is like...
There's no necessarily an indication that this man has a serious intention to leave his family. And I don't think you should be a catalyst for that. I don't think you should be involved in his separation at all. I think if he wants to separate, it's his decision. I don't even know whether you can question this too much. You understand? I don't know if you can go and question him, are you leaving your wife, or,
No, and I'm not going to. But I also, like he wants to, I don't want to be, if he's sneaking around, I don't want to be part of that. And that is what I'm asking you. I don't want to be part of that. That's not what I'm looking for. On
the other hand, it's very difficult to be in a relationship with a married man. Karmically, it's incorrect. You know that. Because if you are married and your husband will go with another woman, you will blame that woman for trying to take your husband or so.
Right.
So my opinion is tell him, listen, when you will be free, we'll date. I cannot date a married man. I will tell him. That's what I will do. I don't have the right to tell you what to do. I give you my suggestion.
No, that's what I'm leaning toward. We're friends right now, but it could be more. But if I don't know what his intentions
so
are.
You're not in a relationship with you, only friends. Yeah.
Right, but like we could be if I wanted it to be, and I haven't. I need more. Like if he's coming back and forth to the house, I don't want that. So that's why I was asking you, what do you see them breaking up? Like, or do you see this?
I'm not sure. This will require me to introspect this more. I don't know on the spot what this man's intentions are. I tell you the truth. I'm not sure. And the only indication is that he doesn't seem so interested to leave the wife. This is just talking. Probably he's frustrated as his frustration, but it doesn't look like the man is really divorcing his wife.
No, it's up to her, obviously. That's what it sounds like to me.
So my advice would be, there's so many men out there, and just make it clear to him that you are a free woman and you want to find somebody who's free, who's ready to be with you. You don't want to be with somebody who's not ready for you.
Right. And that's kind of why I was asking you. Yeah, that's why I was just like, I like him, and I don't really come across a lot of people that I like, but if I'm not dating other people, and he knows I'm dating other people, but I was just wondering his intentions. Like, I know you can't see it, but I was just wondering if this was even worth it for me to even move forward. A bit like, hold on.
Under the circumstance of this man still being married, my advice is made it clear that when he's going to be a free man, you will consider giving him a chance. But as of now, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
For you.
And you know what? I was going to speak
I'll
to him
make that
too.
very clear if I were you.
Yeah, I left my husband, and this is the way I look at it. I left my husband, and it took me 7 months to actually get divorced after I left him. Right. So I was single, but we weren't living together. I didn't go back and forth to the house. And I knew it was over. And that's
the friendship, so you can continue to be friends with him for now. And if he's really separating, then this is a different story. But as of now, this is not to your best interest.
No. And you can't see if he's going to divorce or not. You don't see that. So you don't really see us together, right?
Like that he might not really be divorcing anytime soon. Or that he doesn't really know what he wants.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you.
Yeah, sad.
I agree with you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to remain as friends with him. I was just wondering where you saw it going. That was all.
I think that's your best decision, to remain friends with him. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'll do if I were you.
Do you see any other men coming into my life that's significant?
You will meet a wonderful person. Definitely, you will meet somebody, without a doubt.
Do you have any idea when that person might come my way?
It's hard to determine time. You cannot be precise on this one, but I feel like it's probably going to happen during this year. It's going to happen this year.
Okay. So, well, I know sometimes you might throw out numbers and stuff, and okay, no big deal. Just one other quick question. So my son that's graduated 12th grade, he signed a lease at a college that he didn't really know what he was signing. And he's not going to that college. And right now he's responsible for that lease every month. And we're trying to get him out of the lease. But you can't by subleasing it out to someone. So the college is going to try to do it. And then I put it on Facebook on subleasing. Do you, this is an awful situation. And he doesn't want to go to this college. And there's no baseball scholarship there, as we spoke about last week. And he needs to get out of this. And he can't be in two places at once. So do you see him getting out of this lease?
Yeah. I think he will succeed.
You think the school or will be able to sublease it out and get his name off this lease?
I see that this is going to be done. Get out of the. I suggest him getting out of the lease. It would be probably the best.
No, well, we're trying, but he's just here and he signed the lease, so there's no getting out unless I find someone to send, like on Facebook.
Well,
which
you
I
will
posted
probably
yesterday.
find someone, and this will be the way out.
Okay, I worry about it because he's getting offers now from schools, and he can't be in two places at one. That's like $650 a month, and I'm like, what?
Well, encourage him. Don't let him be worried. Encourage him that you guys are going to find a solution, which you certainly will.
So you don't think that he'll be responsible and we'll find somebody?
Yeah, you will be able to resolve this. Just don't panic because of this.
Yeah, no, I'm not panicking. It's just something else on my plate. There's just been so much going on, and now I got this. I mean, you should never assign the lease. Yeah.
At the end of the show, but I think that the story with the lease will be resolved, Kim. And you pay attention. The universe will open other doors because I'm absolutely confident that you're going to find a wonderful person, somebody who's available. somebody who's there for you, somebody who
Exactly.
is
Emotional available. That's what I want. Emotionally available, and he's not.
Right.
So
exactly.
I will remain
and ready
friends.
for commitment. I love you, Kim. And for
I love you too. Thank
everybody,
you for coming.
this was my show for today, talking about tools to manage everyday stress and anxiety. If you need me, feel free to email me at Carmen Harra and be my friends on Facebook, Instagram, on social media, and this way we'll be connected. And I'll be with you next Friday, same time, same place, KMET Radio, 1490. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Carmen Harra.
You have been listening to Live Now with Dr. Carmen Harra, heard every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And don't forget to check out the show's programmer podcast on the KMET Radio website.